Hello, beautiful souls. I'm so glad that you could join with me again today. We'll pull some cards for the collective, see what pops out for us. There's always some interesting messages that we can use to reflect on how things are going for us. It's interesting. I feel some of you may be feeling a little bit stress and strain, a little bit confused about what is to come. Well, here's some advice from the cards from Spirit. This may not resonate with everyone. If you're looking for more personal guidance, feel free to reach out. But I definitely see, let's focus on these two for a minute. What is happening? There are times when things feel like they are falling apart. I have a mentality today, I haven't always had this mentality, that things fall apart so that you can pick up the pieces and evaluate and appreciate each individual piece. We kind of need to feel a little bit lost and confused in order to hone ourselves back in on the direction that we wish to be heading. If you just wander through the woods and you know exactly where you're going, you've kind of, number one, you've limited yourself and your options. You're taking one direct route and you know it so well. Maybe you're taking that route for granted. So it seems that these feelings of confusion are those moments where it's time to pull out the map, pull out your compass, reorient yourself. Now, it does take a little bit of time. I mean, this isn't something that you should continue just plowing through. You may need to step back from some things. Um, there should never be a situation where you can't ask for space or time to contemplate your feelings and your thoughts before you communicate to another person. If they care about you, they want you to take time to do that. They want you to make sure that you're being true to yourself, and so you're being true to them as well. If they feel that they can't possibly wait for you to collect your thoughts and feel confident about what you're thinking and feeling, there's a little bit of a control in that situation. Now, Spirit just told me that's what this is about for some of you, that you don't feel secure in this situation and you don't feel like you would be given the space and time that you need, that person might hold this over you or try to make you feel guilty for not immediately giving them what they want in the situation. And they almost use that pressure to get responses out of you in their favor, because it's easier to just go along with what they want than it is for you to go against it. So this message feels very deliberately to some people who are feeling like they don't know what to do and they're not sure what they should be doing next. And the first thing that Spirit says is run, get out of there, babes. There's nothing left in this situation that's going to be redeemable. Now, later you can look back at it and you may find some moments that you can appreciate, but mostly you'll just be grateful that you got out. Feels as though there is someone who is trying to control the narrative, that is trying to, they're not respecting your boundaries at all, and they're, every time you try to address that situation, they're making it about their boundaries. Like, okay, but we can talk about that another time. Right now we're talking about my boundaries, and then it turns into something else, and then that turns into something else. So this is a very manipulative type of relationship or connection with a person who want you to go along with their plan, want you to do something for them. I'm getting, for some of you, they want you to sign up or agree to do something for them that is ultimately not going to help you at all. It's just for them. They're trying to make you feel guilty about it. Um, Putting them on their, I just heard putting them on your phone plan, or allowing them to move in, um, putting their car in your name, kind of things are what we're looking at. Absolutely not, babes. If you feel hesitant towards doing what this person wants, it's because you yourself, your intuition is telling you this is not a good idea. It doesn't feel good. It's not for you. And you're confused because you know that if you say no, or if you say that I'm not comfortable with this, or this violates my boundaries, or I don't want to do this, that it's going to cause a major conflict. So the solution in this case is kind of, it's like the painful obvious, where it's like, well, if that's the case, then you have to just walk away entirely. That seems difficult. It seems complicated, and it may not be immediately over. It's not like a severing the tie and it's done and done, because when you're dealing with manipulative types, they like to control things. They love to control things. Um, this will inevitably dissolve into something that is easier for you to manage. Right now, it seems complicated, but we're focusing on the things that we can extricate from the situation easily, the things that you know that are yours, that are stable, that are good, and we're going to go ahead and bond all these things together. Now, you cannot hold on to that thin little thread of life for the long term. It's meant to grow, it's meant to change, it's meant to shift. It's a temporary situation. There's a lot of things that sometimes we have to walk away from. Sometimes you got to leave things behind. Sometimes you leave your favorite things behind because it's not worth going back in the fire for. They're just material things. That's all they are. They're not important in the long run. In fact, you may find, I'm kind of getting from spirit, that they're going to try to use them later as a bargaining chip. Um, and you're going to know that and feel that way, and not allow them to use it as a bargaining chip. But you will be able to say, okay, well, since you've offered these things, I want you to leave them here and I will go and pick them up. And then you actually like have somebody else help you, have somebody go with you, so that they can't corner you, they can't drag you into these conversations again. There are a lot of material things that can be replaced. And even things that we hold on to, we say, well, that's attached to a memory and it's very important to me. Your sanity, your security, your safety, your self worth, your integrity, these things are all more valuable than any object. And they know which objects matter to you. So if you aren't able to get them out, if they want to use them as hostage later, play the game and then play smarter. Nobody said you had to play fair. But I do feel very strongly that there's some negative situations you need to get away from. And in the long run, what you have and what you take with you will be the things that are most important to you. And those are the things that you will be able to rebuild from. Nothing else is going to be as important as that. So get out while you can do so. Be safe, be smart, and if you need help, please reach out, okay? Sometimes I just pull randomly, and I do so in a mix because I feel compelled to. Our Magic Works Through You card has come up recently a few times. This is because the energy that we put out into the universe is how things happen for us. So we have to sometimes focus on the things that we want and not what we don't. And it's very, very difficult to do so at times, especially when we're struggling and we're stressed. But frankly, sitting there thinking about the things that are going wrong is not doing you any good regardless. It actually is more valuable for you to daydream. And you should, and you deserve to do that. The actions that you take now in this cycle and the completion of this cycle are what are going to form the foundation of the following cycle. So we have our empathy card that's come up. I'm open to seeing both sides of the situation. We're treating someone with care and compassion as we close this cycle. We're respecting and honoring their boundaries without violating our own. I'm feeling that some of you owe somebody an apology. Doesn't necessarily mean that what you've done is wrong, but if there's been some misleading, if there's been some disappointment, if perhaps it was imbalanced for some time, and it's only now that you've realized that the cycle is over, it's a good time to let people know that, to let them know in a very kind and compassionate way. I'm getting for some of you, there's some situations that somebody thought there was more there, or thought there was potential there. Things like ghosting can have their advantages in certain situations, but in this situation, it feels like you want to confront them and give them their dignity. How do you want to be treated in these situations? So, if this is a situation where this person is going to be hurt and feel let down, your addressing of it directly and taking accountability for it can make all the difference in the world. We have the I'm sorry card, defenselessness, righting past wrongs, and uprooting. Perhaps this reminds you of a cycle that's occurred before. Perhaps it feels very similar to something that's occurred before. This is your opportunity to do it differently. This is your opportunity to treat somebody how you deserve to be treated in the past, or this is your opportunity to not take the coward's route. If you ran away from a situation before instead of taking accountability, if you tried to hide something, you tried to sneak it past, if you tried to um, remain connected to someone because it was advantageous to you, it is better for you to come forward and admit that. It will take all of that weight off of your soul. You will feel lighter. It doesn't mean feel good about your behavior. It's not the point about this. The point is that you're breaking a cycle. That's not the way that you want to continue forward. You don't want these things to happen to you. So you have to behave in a way that you want to be treated. Yeah, that's how it works. All of these little glimmers of wisdom exist in every single religious text on the planet in some form or another. They talk about what you give is what you get, karmic balance, the golden rule. All of these things refer to the same type of exchange of energy. If you are sneaky and manipulative, you will find other people to be that, and that will continue to reinforce that idea that that's what people are like. But it's really just the people that you're dealing with, because that's the energy you're bringing into yourself. And we're not talking about witches who do baneful. That's a completely different issue. We're talking about day to day, every single day, how you conduct yourself and how you treat people. You will receive back exactly, because that's the energy that you're putting out. You are going to get a mirrored reflection of yourself. So if you find yourself hating the situation and hating the people that are around you, think about what you're contributing to it. What are you doing? Are you allowing it? Do you have these feelings about people? Do you feel like they owe you? Do they feel like, or do you feel like maybe you should tell some people the truth? And you should be honest about your feelings, and you should do so in a respectful and compassionate way. Because isn't that ultimately what you want? So I'm sorry. And then our portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards or a wild card. This is an opportunity for you to change things for the better. And you have to choose in the way that you want to move in that direction. There's a blockage here. And you can't open this door unless you're willing to look at it, face it, be honest about it, and do with it what should be done. Now, if you run away from that, there is another door opening. Absolutely. You can run towards that one if you want. But what are you going to get through that one? I don't know if it's what you think you want. It might look tempting, but they all do. Because there's all kinds of ways that we can make our life easier and disregard other people, use other people, treat them as though they're not valuable and important as we are. And it's tempting. There's all kinds of temptations along the way because it looks like people are gaining so much advantage there. It's like, oh, it's so quick. It comes up so quick. But every single time you step on somebody, you'll experience that down the road. There's nobody that comes by blessings honestly that ever feels regret for how they got there. Ever. When you place your integrity on a pedestal and you say, absolutely nobody is touching that. This is where this belongs. Up here. Here's my integrity. I'm going to own up to this always because this is the bare minimum for me. There's nothing below it that can take away or knock down anything that you receive from here out. If you consistently take little notches in that pedestal of your integrity, a little chip here and a little knock here and a little chip here, it gets up here, and it's very easy to knock that down. It's weakened. It's not consistent. It's not strong. It's not stable. Temptation is a distraction. It is a test to see if you're really about the change that you say that you want. You want all this good stuff, but you're willing to do it the easy way and willing to take advantage of people. You're going to see what lessons you have to learn from there. If you instead can look at things from an honest, decent perspective and say, okay, it's hard, but I don't want to work for this person that I know treats people badly. They're offering me a lot of money, but I don't want that in my life. I'm going to take this job over here because this person makes me feel valued. Maybe I haven't been honest in the past and maybe they don't trust me, but if I confront them about this and I say, hey, I was a different person and I've learned a lot since then, and I would like to take accountability for this situation. And I hope that you will give me the opportunity to prove it to you. That's the road that you're going to see the most gains from every single time. It happens like that every single time. So, some big choices here, but empathy is the main message here. We want to treat people how they deserve to be treated because that's how you want to be treated and you think you deserve to be treated. You don't feel very strongly about yourself if you don't have a good self-worth, then we need to examine why that is. But it seems as though there's some changes that you need to make. With those changes, you're going to see everything in your life shift. Everything will elevate. All the blessings will start coming forth. That's how the magic is created. That's where it comes from. It's some tough lessons today, but these are all valuable lessons that I've learned in my own life. I've not always been this person. There was a lot of things that I experienced based on behaviors that, whether I tried to take an easy route or whether I learned them from someone else and it was a bad example. I speak from experience. I don't speak from a place where I think that I'm better than other people because I know what kind of an awful person I was. And I also know what I did to make efforts to change that. And it's a constant journey. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. I'm certainly by no means some innocent saint, uh, but I have increased the quality of my life and the connections that I have in it. And the blessings consistently come to me. And I have found greater joy and fulfillment in that. And every day of my life feels like a gift now. I don't get depressed. I don't get angry at the way things are. Things have changed for me so tremendously that I feel called to do these readings every day. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing your journey with me. I'm so grateful for you to be here with me. I'm grateful to be able to continue. Much love to you.